Hi all, in the mobile screen you're watching the solar eclipse planetary positions that's going to be occurring on 10th June 2021, and the maximum eclipse time is 4:11 p.m. here in Hyderabad, India. You can clearly understand Mars is debilitated. Mars represents police, military, weaponry of a country. Also, it is a kind of action, right? So, it's the courage, it's the strength by which a person, or it is going to, in the Mundane astrology, it represents the strength of a country, the real acting power of a country, right? So, this is police and military, you can say, and it is debilitated. It's debilitated during the eclipse. Please note this point. And then Saturn is in retrograde status. Saturn represents the lower GDP people, the lower masses. It also is a representation of the karmic people, the people that really do some hard work. So they are opposite to each other. Saturn, the retrograde Saturn, is very dangerous. It's even dangerous than a debilitated Mars. And the debilitated Mars is also very dangerous. And both are watching each other. And this debilitated Mars is also watching the Jupiter, the prosperity of a country. So by this you can clearly understand there are going to be severe riots throughout the world. Severe riots. And the riots are very much dangerous to the prosperity of a country also. And Venus represents the way people can take pleasure, the luxuries, the material comforts of a country, the relationships a country can maintain with other countries. This particular Venus is how a country is trying to take the pleasure, or even the people, or the king or president of a country is trying to take the pleasure. It is in the Ardra Nakshatra, the dreadful nakshatra. So Ardra, Mula are the two dreadful nakshatras in the whole 27 nakshatras in mundane astrology. So how the people or the governments or the rulers are trying to take the pleasure through some destruction, right? Through some destruction. And I can also say Mercury is in the Rahu Ketu axis. It is in the eclipse axis. Mercury represents the buddhi, the logical thinking, the sensible thinking of a country. So of course it's communication, it's also the technology, all the stuff. But at a very fundamental level, Mercury represents the sensible thinking, the logical thinking of a ruler or of a government or of the people. And it is joining the axis here. So whenever a person is doing something destructive, people generally say to that person, your buddhi or your sensible thinking is eclipsed. That's why you are behaving like this. So the buddhi is completely eclipsed. It is joining the eclipse. So you can only see destruction here. A severe riots. or what is the what is the remedial action for this? Governments must talk to the people, must understand the needs of the people. They have to be very slow and constructive. It's going to happen throughout the world. This kind of riots are going to occur throughout the world. So governments now, the power that is coming from the planets are not helping the governments, right? So governments should think themselves now. They have to think themselves that they have to think very sensibly, because the sensible thinking is lost. The power coming from the universe, the solar system is completely lost. So it is our responsibility to think sensibly. There's no much help from the planets. So the governments must think sensibly, logically, and they have to understand the people's needs. They have to react accordingly. They have to follow a slow and constructive approach, and there is no other go. If if the governments are not going to think sensibly, if they are not going to think logically, they are not going to understand the people's needs, then destruction is going to be even more severe. This kind of picture, this kind of planetary position, if it is occurring in a normal days, the effect could be very less, but it is occurring during a solar eclipse, the powerful solar eclipse. It is occurring, this planetary position is occurring that time. So definitely it cannot be ignored. And when you can see this impact, it is going to occur in the month of June. So just before 2 to 3 months of June, and also 3 to 6 months after June. So the span is also, it's very much high, right? The span is varying from the before 2 to 3 months of this eclipse, and also after 3 to 6 months. So totally it is covering the maximum span of 9 months. So before June means it's almost March, April, May. Then after June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So throughout the year, it is covering almost the 9 months. Is nothing but almost throughout the year. It is going to, right? From March, it is going to start. And in the 10th February, we discussed the planets, all the planets are coming and joining in a single house, Capricorn. So that is representing a kind of a severe flood or a severe war, because all the people are experiencing the same impact, the same energy that we discussed in other video, the 10th February video. So this is indicating riots all over the world. So people must also think sensibly now. They should not be in a hurry to fight with a government, or to fight with a police, to fight with whatever, right? People should think sensibly, because it is a very sensitive conjunction. It is a very sensitive eclipse. So here everything we discussed in terms of people, right? So in other video I will try to discuss the same picture in terms of the natural sources. Means can this conjunction can erupt or can cause A tsunami or an earthquake? What is the possibility of having that kind of scenario? We can discuss that. Thank you.